All right, welcome to Monogram's composition. It's technically part 3. If you're watching this video, that means you've already watched Monogram's part 1, which includes the sketching process, and you went through part 2, which gives you the refinement process. So this video is actually not on moving on to a different process, but actually helping you with the second part. So we're going to go over some of the basics on composition, and that'll help you make your final adjustments to your design before you go to the final sketch. So to understand composition, you got to understand that there are what are called elements of composition in art. And the basic idea is that these are things that over time people have noticed about everything visual. So you could use these for photography. You could use these for pretty much anything. Obviously, if you've done dance, you know that there's elements of dance, which is a little bit different because it's physical and there's movement, there's physical movement, there's space. Obviously, the elements of photography are very similar to this, but then there's pretty much elements or principles to anything. Everything has kind of like an equation of a way of understanding the parts that are of that object, right? If you're learning sales, you know that there's certain things to that you have to learn to become good at it and understand that those are parts of it. So it's really an important skill to be able to understand what are the important parts of whatever you're doing. And so for visual design, you're basically looking at the different elements of composition is probably the most basic thing. You actually don't need any drawing ability to start understanding these. You can actually teach these without an ability to draw, because composition is not about technical ability. It's actually about understanding and an organization. So the one we're going to talk about today, there's 8 in this list. I actually have a list of 15 usually, but 8 is a good way to start because the other ones are kind of very similar. So there's unity, balance, movement, rhythm, focus, contrast, pattern, and proportion. And if you've noticed, a lot of these words are used in all the other arts that you may do, whether it's balance and movement, rhythm and music, movement and dance, focus, could be in many different things in writing. Contrast also could be in writing. Pattern could be in many different things. Proportion tends to be the one that's usually in visual arts. But these are all words that can be used to reference many different types of art forms. We're going to be focused on unity. And unity, as the definition is, multiple elements are combined together to create a new element. Although you may see the original element, the new combination is considered its own element. So the basic idea of this is that as you look at a logo, do you think the way they combined it looks as if it created a whole new image? So the Louis Vuitton is the way that they're combined, the L and the V made it seem like something completely new. Like the Vera Wang. Do you see the V and the W? If you took one away, would it make a big difference? Or could you still tell what it is? Right? And so if you understand unity, when we first started this project, the whole idea that I expressed to you was that combining your letters are what makes a difference between you just writing your initials on a piece of paper and you actually designing a monogram. Now, how you combine those letters obviously is up to you and your design ability. But obviously, the more creative you are, then the more creative the outcome's going to be, which would make it a new image, right? The basic idea of something being different makes it creative. The something being creative makes it new to the viewer. If they've seen it before, if you just put an A next to another A or next to another A, and then you're like, oh, triple A, that's it. It's done. But if you change the angle, you change the proportions, you change how it unites, then someone will see something new. And that's the whole idea of design. It's to communicate the idea but also to create something new that the person hasn't seen so they can appreciate what they're looking at. So as you look at these logos, there's 2 questions for the check-in. The first question is, when you look at all of these logos, there's 9 logos, different fashion brands. I think they're all fashion brands except for maybe one. Pick one that you think doesn't have as good a unity as the rest of them. Now, this might be, you got to be careful that when you're looking at these, you're not just thinking, well, which one do I like? Well, it's not about what you like. It's actually about design unity. So you got to read that description again. What is design unity? And then you got to kind of figure out, okay, which one really sticks to that definition? So I'll repeat that question. The first question is, which design has the strongest, the weakest unity? Now, the other question that you have, and this is all your viewpoint, which design to you has the best unity and why? And so there's 2 questions to answer. That'll be part of your check-in. If you have any questions, you can always contact me. Hope you guys are staying safe. Enjoy your time. In the next video, we're going to be going over balance and possibly movement. If you have any questions about the older videos, just check down in the description or at the end of this video where you will see a link so that you could go see those videos if you haven't seen them yet. Have a great day. Stay safe.